Hi everyone, my name is Gracie Arvisu. I'm here to talk about my training topic. I chose privacy laws, workplace fairness, email internet specifically. I just want to make people more aware of the workplace and what they have the rights to privacy wise. If they have privacy and if they do, what in what areas, what does it cover, or if your employer has the privacy to monitor everything, email internet based. So let me just start off by saying that again, my topic is privacy laws in the workplace, email, internet. My specified audience, or my targeted audience, I believe would be anybody that's going to apply to a new job or anyone that's going to begin looking for a job or people that are maybe already employed but they're not really aware because they might have not read the handbook that's given to them. So that would be some cases. I think it could target any group, age, or anywhere it could cover, especially maybe people in college that are going to start venturing off and applying to jobs. It'd be nice to know. I think it's really good information. While doing this research, I did learn a couple new things that I was not aware of. So it's always kind of interesting to know the small details that we sometimes forget to ask about. My learning objectives for this would be number one, analyze the private policy, state, and federal laws regarding email internet, be able to define and compare personal data and sensitive data, identify three things your employer can monitor in the workplace, support the goals of the employers for monitoring employees via email and internet, and identify your feelings about how you feel about privacy in the workplace. I did not do an assessment for this training. I did, however, just go and kind of just ask around in my office if people were aware of their if they had private or of their privacy rights within the company, or if they felt that they had any, or did they know that their employer had the right to monitor every aspect. A lot of them, a lot of the younger crowd did know. They were really fully aware that anything that's given to you by your employer can be monitored. However, there were a couple of other people in my office that were thought they had privacy with their email, especially logging into the computer and viewing their personal email. They thought that that was perfectly fine and they had the right to privacy in regards to that, or going on and checking the news on Yahoo and stuff like that. So, and they thought they could surf the net freely on their company's cell phone. So it was nice to kind of just get feedback and then let them know, like, check out your handbook for the policy, for the privacy policies, sorry. So that was my little unofficial assessment. So now that I mentioned the learning objectives and what my training video is about, I do want to just speak a little bit about the different uh, classification of privacy laws. We have general privacy laws. General is how an overall bearing on the personal information of individuals can affect the policies that govern many different areas of information. Specific privacy laws include online privacy, communication privacy laws, privacy in one's home. So these are just more specific types of information that's targeted. Then we have personal data. Personal data includes anything as your telephone number, your address, your health records. Sensitive data would be information that's protected against unwarranted disclosure, maybe if you participated in a research of any. To mention the federal privacy policies, the main one that's spoken of or it's more heard of is the ECPA, which is Electronic Communications Privacy Act. The United States Congress put this in place to extend government restrictions on wiretaps and telephone calls to include transmissions of electronic data through the computer. And then we have California, which we're going to base on and how my training is based off of. California state policies for privacy acts. I did mention a couple on my slideshow, but I will just mention one right now, which is one that really I think is important and I think it's very helpful, not just in a work environment, but also educationally for the younger crowd. It's called California Education Code, and this law defines bullying as one or more acts of sexual harassment, hate violence, or intentional harassment, threats, or intimidation. It's great because sometimes we might not think we're being bullies or intimidating others. So it's nice to know that your employer at times, even though you might feel it's an invasion of privacy, it can avoid certain issues when it comes to employees sending emails that are not very nice. So just to cover real quickly, workplace privacy, it's like you basically don't have any. Employer can generally is allowed to monitor the workplace communications such as your business phone calls, computer usage, and access to your voicemail and email. So use those properly. Use them for work. These tools are given to us to succeed in our jobs. So let's not misuse them. Your employer can monitor them. They also can monitor resumes, do background checks, do the drug testing. Drug testing is it's all good and it'll stand and employers have the right to, as long as they're not singling people out because of race or disability. It should be all across the table. Let's see. There's so much to cover, but I want to make sure I get the good points out. Employer can monitor, like I said, basically everything, even how many keystrokes per minute, how long your computer has been idle. So let's be careful for those things. If they can check those little things, imagine what other stuff they can see. You can be legally fired for your internet use at work. They can legally read your email. You can be fired if something's inappropriate that was sent through email. So that would hold off in court. If we have something to check, or we want to check our personal email, let's just wait till we get home or do it off our personal cell phone, because it can be monitored as well if once it's used through a computer at work. An employer can legally fire you, like I said, for reading an email. And also another big thing, especially now with just the internet just becoming this huge phenomenon, I feel like. I mean, it's always been big, but now with all these social media websites, let's be careful and try and avoid posting anything about the company, saying anything bad about the company. So let's refrain from the Facebook and the tweets and relieving frustration. So I think in all, companies do this just to make sure that employers want to have a secure place for their employees. I totally support that employers do have the right to monitor our everything, cell phones, computers, everything, because at the end of the day, it helps the employee, like I said, with the bullying or maybe sexual harassment threats. We can help in that regard. We keep employee retention higher because they feel they're in a secure environment, and it helps the employer with to make sure they represent the company's represented well, that they don't look bad, and that they keep ongoing customers and build that clienteling. So let's make sure that our privacy, like I said, we don't really have the First Amendment right when it comes to our privacy in the workplace or freedom of speech, because our employer can monitor everything, and even though we might be off the clock and we post something on Facebook, we can still be fired for that in California. There's nothing against that. So it's nice to be aware, and I wish I can go through this whole slideshow because there's a lot of interesting things, but statistically wise, people have been fired, like 38% increase of people being fired because of emails being sent or posting something bad on Facebook. So let's make sure we avoid that. I really enjoyed this topic. I hope you guys did too. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I kind of could have done better and said a couple ums in there, but thank you for your listening and thank you for taking the time. Have a great day. Thank you.